my god.
Ew.
I gotta be awake now. Are you awake? I don't want to be awake now.
Ew. You sound like a preppy white girl.
A preppy white girl is what I sound like?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
god, I sound like a
Oh
preppy
my
white girl. Oh my
god.
god. I sound like Paris Hilton. Oh.
There you go. Spot on. Spot on
Oh.
for what I was talking about.
What if there was a name for that when girls talk that way? It's like, and I'm like, oh. That's how I felt about that.
Literally,
The
yeah.
best part was that my
No,
reaction to
because
that whole
the
credit
funny
was,
part is they do the sound and then you want to do that sound. You're like, I don't want that.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that at all.
So how are you doing today, man?
How am I doing? I'm actually better than yesterday, which is weird because yesterday was actually a really good day.
It was. It was. Man, I felt primed.
Yeah.
That was a good show. No hubris here. Just
Not
like I
just
felt like
not just a good
it
show, but
felt
it
good.
felt we
It
I
felt good.
I think we were both in a really good place yesterday.
Well, I think that's half the yeah.
And it really felt good to talk
Well,
about the stuff we talked about.
I think one of the real advantages of a show that's not about putting on a show is we work through both days.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not fronting. Did that sound cool? Did I sound cool there? I'm in my pocket in the right way.
No, I'm just
Don't make me get in my pocket, or my it's getting
Don't
in my
make me
pocket
get in
good
my
or out my
pocket.
pocket.
No, I laughed because it wasn't tough, and then
Are you questioning my cred, yo?
yes.
Okay.
Though to be fair,
To be fair,
I don't have very much street cred either, so it's I really shouldn't be the person.
Record,
I
have
really
more street cred than you. I
you
won't go into
do
it,
you
but I have
do
more street
yeah
cred than you.
yeah. We've had conversation. He does have more street cred than me.
I get to go, yeah, man. No corners involved, but I get to make claims that
maybe
I'm not proud of. Actually,
maybe one day you guys will hear those stories a little bit.
You know what?
Maybe.
There's a book in there somewhere.
There's a book in there somewhere.
You know what? I mean, any story that has a guy with a samurai sword chasing after a police officer because he's worried somebody's putting a tracking device on my truck. That's a story that needs to be a movie.
I don't think I've ever heard that story before.
Just to have an overweight, think gamer body.
Wait. Did you just pull that one out of your ass, or is that a thing that happened?
Yeah, that happened.
What the fuck?
Shh.
Sorry.
Listen to you.
What the heck? I'm sorry.
What the heck? Gosh darn, what the heck? Gee golly willikers.
No, that's wild.
Okay, I have a story where I have a kung fu style fight from one end to the other of the most notorious street in the red light district in Bangkok, including throwing person into tables and me being thrown into tables and knocking things over in the middle of a market.
Sounds badass.
It was not. It was pathetic. Neither of us really knew any type of. It was like the weirdest thing. It was like
so neither of you guys could fight, but it was definitely.
I felt like neither of us were truly invested in this fight. But we went from KFC to McDonald's. Those of you who've ever
so wait. How did the fight start?
Okay, no.
Oh, we're not gonna. Okay,
we're
okay,
not.
okay, okay.
We have another
for
story
later.
Today.
Sorry.
We have another.
Let's tell the other
today.
story today.
So something happened yesterday.
Yes.
We were, as you may have noted, we were talking about what a great day we had yesterday. We were so elated with our prowess. We were filled with hubris.
We were having lots of fun, and we decided to watch a movie.
Well, okay. So I was really proud of myself. There are animals all around us. You can't see them because we're the only animals you came for. But there's like an axolotl behind the camera. There's a parrot head cichlid. There's a Siamese fighting fish I'm nursing back to health.
We both remarked before the show that the tanks needed to be filled.
Because otherwise there's a lot of water noise.
Yeah, basically.
There's a lot, but not that I'm opposed to water noise.
Yeah.
I live in a world where I like to hear lots of water. There's a 300-gallon pond next door.
Yes.
So first round of pandemic. Legitimately still on recovery from getting my back done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out shopping near Christmas with my daughter, who unfortunately, oh man, she's back to work and can't be here during the day. She was my big cheerleader in the chat. But we were out shopping at Lowe's, and we walked, as we do, we walked out into the section that was closed,
Mhm.
the outdoor section. Christmas, it's not open. It's open, but um, and I came across the pond liner
Oh.
that I had. I looked at her and I said, the only reason there isn't a pond in the basement yet, it's because I haven't bought this pond liner. And she goes, you know what? I didn't know what to get you for Christmas.
That's perfect.
Here's this pond liner. They're not expensive. I mean, it was $65. That's not an exact number, but it was right in that
Right.
category.
Range.
So not, it was a beautiful gift. I'm not going to go into how badly I fumbled putting the pond in the first time and whether or not I bought another pond liner. And it was because I had butchered the pond liner that had been given to me as a gift, and I felt there needed to be a pond there on the basis that she had made such a beautiful gift.
Right.
So I put in a pond. I know, there's a long way to go for this strange, weird Shaggy Dog story
I was
about
gonna
being
say you don't have
humble.
to tell the whole story.
No,
Just tell the
I'm not. I promise. I'm
yesterday is the
literally.
highlight. You
I'm
know.
getting. But if you don't know there's a pond,
Hey, that's a good start though.
you have to know there's a
Yeah.
pond.
There is a pond.
There's a tortoise over there too, but the tortoise doesn't live in the pond. The turtles live
There
in the
is a
pond.
pond.
The koi live in the pond with the turtles
Mhm.
and the Chinese algae eaters and the guppies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple things. Couple
So
animals.
we're coming off the high of a really great show.
Mhm.
We are feeling really good about ourselves. Like, wow, man, we are on top of the world. We get the fish tanks filled. Man, I'm proud of myself. I'm like, you know what?
Mhm.
I filled the fish tanks. I even got out of having to take the hose upstairs. There's more fish tanks upstairs. Okay, and an iguana. Um, I even got out of doing that because there were kids sleeping upstairs. I was like, sweet. And so I went and put the hose in the pond. The pond needed water, right? It was making very pond noises, right? Ross, are you
I
over
was
there?
looking at the axolotl. I'm sorry.
Axel's bad. He's
The axolotl's
one of
so
these days
cool.
we're gonna share.
He's so cool.
We've talked about the idea of we need some cameras occasionally on the fish tanks.
But you were saying we filled all the tanks. The tanks are full now.
The tanks are full now. It's really
Yes.
good.
It's really good. Yes.
And so the next step of filling things downstairs is
Is
there's
the
a
pond.
300-gallon pond next door.
Right.
So we're
Naturally.
like, oh, a 300-gallon pond.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I have to fill it every couple weeks, at least once a month. Last time we filled it, what did we almost do?
We almost did it.
We almost
We
at the
almost did it.
very.
And I
It
caught
was
it
right at
because
the edge.
I caught it. It was right at the edge, and I was like, "Did he mean to leave that running? Like, I should probably say something. All right, I'm gonna say something." I was like, "Hey, I think the pond's full," and we caught it, and it was like right before it
Right before it went
overflowed.
over.
Right?
Right.
Yeah,
I
right
mean,
before it went
right
over.
at the edge.
Yeah, literally.
So yesterday, as we're busy patting ourselves on the back, and literally we were gonna do some editing. We were gonna get the show up on YouTube. We were
Yep.
looking at. There was a minor thing, and we were like,
Yeah.
that was such a great show. We deserve a minute. We
Mm-hmm.
can take a minute. We should.
Should
So
take a minute
for
to
the
chill.
record, I live in this chair. It's actually attached to my ass. You know what? This is so. Little do you know, there's a couch right next to me, and so Ross
Mhm.
sits on the couch, and we're relaxing for a minute. Harry Potter's what got us.
Harry Potter's what got us. That's the funny part. Is that
Damn you, Daniel Radcliffe!
I remember we were both like talking. We were having a long conversation before this, and then like I had just suggested like Atlanta, and then we both were like, "That's way too ponderous right now.
That's too heavy,
That's
man.
too heavy right
heavy.
now."
I can't do
And
it.
I was scrolling through movies, and then I saw Daniel Radcliffe, and I was like, "Dude, you ready?" And he was like, "Yep."
We watched the trailer, and it's Daniel Radcliffe and
Oh, geez, Blake Lively.
Blake Lively was in it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Blake Lively.
Blake Lively is almost a side character.
No, she's
She's
pretty important.
Right. Anyways,
She's pretty important.
none of this matters.
Yeah.
So we're like this, and then we see Harry Potter, and we're like, oh wow, Harry Potter made a
Yeah.
new movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, you got to give Potter credit.
His movies are
he's
pretty
picking
good.
Amazing movies.
No, like as far as like child actors, he probably picks the best
Guns
movies.
Akimbo. Oh my God, what the? He's doing the great.
Oh, I was supposed to watch that last night. That was
is
what I
the
was supposed to
one
do.
Where Daniel Radcliffe wakes up with guns attached to his hands in some sick
So
post-apocalyptic
so
game.
apparently he does that a lot because there's a movie called Horns that he does where he wakes up and horns are attached to his head.
I think he likes the idea of working outside of.
The box.
I'm going to be honest about Mr. Radcliffe's desire. He's
Mm.
working outside the Potterness.
Yeah, definitely.
And me calling him Potter endlessly is probably not his desire.
Right.
I am. Let me explain that I am very impressed by Daniel
Nah, Daniel
Radcliffe's
Radcliffe is awesome.
acting. He's freaking amazing.
One of my favorite actors.
Okay, we've gone a long way into how great this movie
Yeah,
is.
we weaved really far.
Okay, let me give you a reality check. So we are sitting here, patting ourselves on the back, giving ourselves a timeout for doing such great things. I'm gonna add that people don't know this, but down here hiding is a gallon of water, and so I'm constantly like, "Oh, more water! You need drink lots of water a day," and so I try to empty one of these every day, as might be considered natural for the human,
right?
animal.
The mammal,
As you
the
can
human
see,
mammal.
then the large omnivorous mammal suddenly feels his bladder filling to overflowing.
Filling to
Will he mark
overflowing.
his space or perhaps retire to the restroom?
Was that Dr. Seuss mixed with Nat
I
Geo?
don't even know.
That was hilarious.
I don't even know. But I needed to go pee, guys. Okay, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know what? Let's pause it for a minute. I get up. I'm barefoot.
No, actually, I think you stopped to check on the cat because the cat was meowing.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, the cat was
Did
meowing.
Shook
I
get
remember
us?
the cat meowing, and you were like, "Did you
It
eat your
was a
turkey?"
sudden. It
And
was
you
a
like
sudden.
slowly walked over there, and you were
Oh
like,
my God.
"Oh snap!"
Okay, so I go rocking. You can see the board.
Yeah.
Well, so as I walk around the board to exit the room, I'm suddenly in about 1.5 inches of water. At this point, I remember that I was filling the pond. You know what we're going to teach here today is a lesson in humbleness.
No. I couldn't believe my mind when I walked off the carpet, and immediately there was an inch and a half of.
But we had a good time cleaning it up, didn't
water.
we?
Yeah, we did. We
So-
did. We definitely did. I constantly remarked how it felt like it was the beach or something.
It felt like the universe was going, you know what, bud? You need to be a little more humble. You need to get in line. It was fun.
Right?
Okay, so let me also say this. It's a studio.
Mhm.
There's lots of cords.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can understand your first thought when you see water coming your
Oh yeah,
way.
it was very scary for a second. It was very very scary. And then literally like as soon as we realized like okay, we haven't really touched any chords. There was one chord that got ruined, but it's like we don't use that. So it's like
Oh, that cord was broken. No, the reason I tossed this.
okay, that cord was
already
broken
dead.
anyways.
Yeah, that cord was dead.
Cool, good. Once we realized that, we were kind of just laughing about it.
Well, that I very much. It was a very. So I've been in a headspace lately where I'm looking for lessons everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That every moment is a meditation on what the world is bringing me.
Mm-hmm.
And all I could do was laugh. It was
too.
such a moment of, you know what? Remember what you're doing. Do what you're doing.
Right.
If you're sitting, sit. If you're breathing, breathe. If you're watching a movie, watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you're filling the pond,
Fill the pond.
pay attention to that. So I go running to the other side. Water's still on.
Oh my
mind
God.
you.
The funniest part is I step into my room and I'm like, slowly while we were cleaning, I had the realization that my bed is sitting up.
You now know
My bed is
off the ground.
sitting off the ground, which means that there's probably water on the other side of my bed. And then I was like, dang. I was like, okay, that's real. Okay.
That's real.
So, I got off the bed and I was like, okay, all right, cool. I guess
You would not believe how clean the floors are.
yeah. They're like
The floors are so clean.
they look
are
like
beautiful.
spotless. It's amazing. It's amazing how much dirt we got up.
The universe works in mysterious ways. They needed cleaned.
They really like it. It looks like a dried out pool. Like I don't know if you've ever been in a pool that was completely empty.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like it just got completely empty.
Well, and this was an opportunity for us.
Mm-hmm.
There was how do you react?
Turn the heater off.
You know what I mean? There was
Mm-hmm.
what? Sorry, guys, the heater was on. We've been trying out floors. I don't know if you know this. I've got fans. I apologize. There's probably a little more fan noise today. I've got some
Yeah.
pointed at the floor.
Yeah.
We've got some spaces that are carpeted. That we're trying to get the carpet
Yeah,
dried out before it
the
molds.
carpets are not drying, which
Well, no,
is
they are. I actually did a good job last night of getting underneath the table. The table's good. I switched where
okay.
the fans. I've been
Okay.
actively.
You've been changing it around.
I've been actively moving stuff.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Um.
Dehumidifier's going.
No, unfortunately, I had to turn the dehumidifier off.
Oh, really?
It's heater or dehumidifier. I can't run them both.
What? Oh,
It blows
electronic
the
wise.
fuse. Yeah,
Okay.
it
Okay.
blows the fuse.
Got it.
That's the one thing I hate about things that make things cold and things that make things
Hot.
hot is, man, they are energy suckers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, big time.
Definitely.
I have another one I may bring down here because there's a couple sitting upstairs still. But the point I'm trying to make, without laughing, and this is to some extent that's the point, and breathe and giggle.
Yeah.
That
Like literally,
if you think that every day is gonna go the way you plan, watch out for the flood.
the funniest part is the fact that we were in such a good place after it happened.
It was so meaningful
Like
to me.
what? Like I feel like except for like the first moment when we realized like, oh
There was a
snap,
moment
there's
of
water
snap.
on the
Yeah,
ground.
there was a
Yeah,
moment
yeah,
of
yeah. There was a
fear.
moment
There
of
was a
fear,
moment of
like
literal
fear,
fear, like,
and
oh,
like we
crap.
just ruined something.
That,
But like I feel like once we got over that, like it was all smiles. It was just funny.
well, the funniest part was there's like a low spot between the two rooms. You
Right,
can't see the rooms. There's a wall over there, I promise.
right.
And it was collecting just far enough. So there's a line at the end of this table
Yeah.
where, let's be honest, there's more cords because
Well, I'd
and
say
it stayed away from all the electronics. It was like a, hey, you better get in line. But then it was like, but we're not gonna go that far. And so you felt like the universe was giving you a nudge, but not like a knuckle punch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was one of those. It was the thwack of the bamboo stick. Are you here or not, bud?
It didn't really ruin anything. Like
No.
I had a watch that got like some water on it, but it didn't ruin anything though.
I was. So let us discuss briefly. Those of you who don't know, Ross is 18. If you can picture an 18-year-old's bedroom, assume that
There's gonna be clothes on the floor
I,
and
we're midway. We're getting that room. We're working on it, getting it dry enough, and finally, I just look at him and look
hey
at
man.
Ross, and I go,
He's like, hey man,
dude.
you gotta do this.
I said, Ross, I want you to know I love you, and then I want you to know you're a disgusting animal. And meant with all the I was once 18 as well.
I will say
no judgment, just
I will say
much
short
made me
of
laugh even more.
I will say short of the dirty clothes on the floor, like the socks and stuff like that. My room was actually fairly clean, like the floor.
I'm gonna say this: short of a flood, it was never gonna get cleaned, and it looks good in there right now.
No, but like
Jesus works in mysterious
when
ways.
I walked in like the main like when you come down the stairs, there's like this main little area, and like when I walked in there, I noticed like just how much dirt was on the floor. Like just how much random dirt was just sitting there on the floor. And then you like swept under the the stairs, and it was like even more dirt came out, and I was like, "Oh,
Well,
snap."
but then I ran around with the shop vac. We took out, I think, between 30 and 40 gallons is what we sucked up. I forget how many we emptied. But
I think we emptied it like 3 or 4 times.
I was thinking it was even more than that, but I may be exaggerating greatly. So maybe it might only be 20 or 30 gallons.
Okay.
So maybe
I
between
don't
4
know.
and
It was
6.
a lot.
It felt like a lot of water.
Felt like a lot of water.
It did. It felt like a lot of water.
I will say though, the whole time that like my feet were in the water, I literally could not stop thinking of this. This feels like the beach. Like literally, this feels like there's a
Man.
little bit of sand on the floor, and I mean on the sand. The sand, there's a little bit of sand on the sand. Imagine that. There's a little bit of water on the sand, and your feet are just like you're just walking around.
Good. It was just the right amount.
Yeah, it was perfect.
I want everybody to understand there were moments of fear.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And we realized immediately we had to share this.
Right.
Because it so is who we're trying to be. Maybe I don't successfully get there every day, but perspective wise, man, we were in the right place.
I think we took it like champs only because like we had such a good day
Yeah,
that we were
yeah.
kind of like, okay, this is the universe smacking your hand a little bit.
Well, I literally felt like it was, damn, I was so busy patting myself on the back that I was dropping the ball, which is a real lesson that being in the present
Hmm.
means you also can't spend your time shucking yourself about how great you are.
Right,
You know, that's
right.
still not being here. That's
Yeah,
ta-da, look at me. It's ego.
yeah. I mean, it was definitely like
But our ego went there, man. We had a good time.
I think the whole day struck me as a good day, even though like something went wrong. It still struck me
Did you
as a
have to
good
use
day.
your AK?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, then it was a good day.
It was definitely a good day.
I didn't have to use my AK.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to stop you dead in your track.
No, it's okay.
It's
It's
like,
okay.
I'm going to stop talking, man. He brought Cube up, man.
He
What's up with
brought
that?
Cuba. What's up with that?
Why Cube in this?
That's funny. No, but like seriously, I just think we were both in a really like solid mind state of just like,
Yeah.
all right, this happened. Okay, that's a little scary. And then once we realize, okay, it didn't do that much damage.
No, no, it didn't. Really,
So
we didn't have any damage. We
now
moved some stuff
now we're
around. We
kind of
lost a
just
little
like,
bit. Sorry.
okay, cool, cool. You know, the cat pillow got to dry.
The cat, it's dry. Yeah, I've got it back over there.
It's
I actually
dry.
just hung it up and I let it air
See,
dry.
the cat pillow's right there. We back to day 2 already.
Okay. For those of you that have begun to believe there might be a zoo here, I can't even think of it. So 3 cats.
Yeah, 3 cats and some
Oh,
fish and
somewhere
some
between
turtle.
40 and
There's a
100 fish.
Yeah, there's a iguana too.
There's an iguana,
Forgot about that.
a green and red iguana. He'll make an appearance eventually.
Yeah,
Toothless is cool.
yeah,
Nomad, people have met.
yeah.
Nomad's our producer.
That was so hilarious
Well,
too.
for those of you that don't know what it is Nomad is
He
drawn to the
sees
green
he
dials.
sees the green dials
He'll
and he
go
just
all the way
starts
up to it.
climbing on top of it, trying to like get over to like I've let him do it too. Like he'll start trying to eat the green
He'll
dials.
start
It's
trying to eat the green
hilarious.
dial. Like
It's
there's something about
hilarious.
that color that represents food to him, and I'm like, I get that. I get that. How do we face every day like we faced yesterday?
How do we face every day like we faced yesterday? Honestly, like really all you can do is like figure out how much like if say you have a setback or something in a day. So you just kind of like try and figure out, all right, this setback is here. All right. It's a little scary, but let's go through it. Let's go forward with this. Let's just see how we can move through this and what we got to do. And then
So
you just do it. And then you laugh about it. Like that's the best way I could describe what we did yesterday is like we saw that there was a problem, we got a little scared and then we just handled it.
so I used to travel all over the country and work with different little crews, or I would have people working under me, but I
Mhm.
wouldn't know them.
Mhm.
So I mean, we literally you have that first moment of okay, I'm gonna make an introduction, I'm gonna explain what we're doing, and I
Mhm.
need us to all work together.
Mhm.
My line was always okay. So the first part was, don't be a weasel on crack.
Right.
Don't
Try and get everything
well
done.
you well no you'd run
Don't
into a
move as
guy that
fast
was
as
hoping
possible.
to well
Yeah.
a guy that was trying to impress me
Right.
because he wanted a leadership role
Right.
would burn himself out in 2 hours and be worthless to me.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to work, you have an option. You can complain about it all day.
Right.
You can tell jokes and work at a steady pace all day.
Right.
Both get the job done. Which sounds more enjoyable? You have a choice.
Right.
I used to say, maybe I could say it again now. I'd given it up for a number of years because I didn't feel I was living up to it. If it ain't fun, I quit. And that sounds to people like, oh, he just wants to have a good time. No, I want people to be allowed to be people in a way that it should be fun.
Yeah.
There's no I get that there's suffering. I get that there's bad stuff. Things get flooded.
Mm-hmm.
You build an ark or something, it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's all in how you. Then what's the next step?
You know what's funny is that was probably my same thought in not going to college.
What's that?
If it ain't fun, don't do it.
If it ain't fun, don't do it.
Like to some extent, like it's funny because I sometimes I talk to old friends and I catch them up
He's
on what's
18, old friends.
yeah, whatever. I catch them up on like what's been going on with me the past 6 months to a year.
Right, right.
And basically like what I realize is like I'm like my stock in this conversation is like going down the more that I talk. Cuz the funniest part is like I'm having fun making the decisions that I'm making and
Right.
stuff like that, and I feel like I'm making the right decisions. But I also realize like my friends are making like the decisions that everybody else makes, like going to college and stuff like that. And in their eyes, right now at this very moment, I may look like I don't know what I'm doing or that I'm just coasting or something.
Well, that yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. That, and I kind of put that once again with what's your reaction to the flood?
Right.
That, and in that case, the flood is college.
Yeah.
Now, my argument with is it fun is, well, that's on you though.
Well, the thing is,
That I don't think of that as
the thing that I always took from it was high school. Everybody kind of had this idea of okay, we got to do it. It's fine. We'll get it over with.
right.
So we were all having fun for the most part, um, doing it. And then every time I talked to somebody about college, they were just like, yo, it's so tough. Like I literally the seniors above me were always coming back to me telling me, "Oh, it's so tough. I got so much work to do. I got to balance school, work and life." And I'm like, that
Well, that's
sounds like so much work.
well, but that's what work is. They're
No, I
training
get
you
that.
for. See,
I get that.
I think that we need to figure out a way to make education feel more fluid and more organic.
Mhm.
That kids end up feeling like, okay, I'm I'm learning to a post. I know that what I need to do is pick a job.
Well,
Do I want to be a lawyer? Do I
right.
want to be a banker? Do I want to be a candlestick maker? We've opted for candlestick maker.
That's funny. No, but like seriously, like I think you learn as you become older, you learn how to balance life and you learn how to find your own like balance. But I also think like I don't always think that school is the best version of that. Even though like for some people for some people you need that. Like doctors probably need that and engineers probably need that. And there are lots of careers that definitely need that, but I just
Okay, so I'm gonna make an argument that's really gonna piss people off. Maybe.
okay. Okay.
Learning how to work on a car and learning how to work on a human are the same thing. It's accomplishing the memorization of the facts relative to the mechanical workings of an object and how to fix it.
No, that kind of makes sense. Like that
So
makes sense. How to figure out the problems, troubleshooting.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, for me, what that means is it's still all a learning to memorization.
Mhm.
Not that that's all that there is in the medical world. There's great growth.
No,
And,
obviously
not
there's
not
like
saying that.
that's why they do the residency part.
Well, part
Yeah.
of it is it just takes that long to memorize all of that. Humans are complicated.
Right. Right.
So
Humans are very
all credit
complicated.
due,
Yes.
but so it's a learned craft.
Mhm.
It's a not
Yeah,
craft,
it's
but how do we have veered away from a respect for intellectual studies.
I think I think we tend to look down upon people that choose to go their own way.
I think that's true.
And like
So when
yeah,
there's a flood,
it's
you choose to laugh instead of crying. Is
exactly.
my so
Exactly.
I know this
Definitely.
seems like a
It
stretch,
seems like a stretch to what we're
but
making, what we're
the
talking about, but yeah.
what I'm
That's the
talking about
point.
is
That's the point I
big
was trying to
things
get at.
arise in life, and really what the lessons there no matter what. You can go back and get it later.
Right.
But B, it's in how we choose to see it.
Yeah.
That part of perspective is what you choose
Mhm.
to see, what you're looking for. People always they talk about the two dogs. So there's two dogs, and there's a little box that has mirrors in it.
Mhm.
First little happy dog. Well, I ruined it already.
Dang.
Okay, so these two dogs go into this box. The one's really happy. Goes in. He comes out. He's even happier. The one dog goes in. He's pissed off. He comes out. He's even more pissed off. Anyways, I'm ruining the story. But the point is, it was a room. If it's full of mirrors,
Mhm.
what you take out of it is what
Is
you
what you
take
see.
into it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what the angry dog sees everywhere
Is anger.
is anger, and what the happy dog sees
Is
everywhere is
happiness.
happy.
Yeah.
And we all kind of tend to sometimes feel like we don't have any control over that.
Yeah.
But I think yesterday
No,
is the perfect example
I
of wow,
definitely think like sometimes I can literally see myself being given the two options.
right?
Like, and I can see that life is giving me this perspective and this perspective and telling me, okay, which one do you want to pick?
Who do you want to be?
Right?
Who do you want to be?
Like, I definitely think the flood was like that. I definitely think when I have conversations and I'm like starting to think of how my life decisions might not be the best, but also, but also, but also I know that like I would be completely miserable on the other side of that.
I,
So I'm okay with feeling like I made some bad decisions right now. I'm okay with feeling like this isn't the right,
I,
you
the
know?
way I think of it is, the universe is a funny place,
Yeah, definitely.
and that there are lots of jokes to be found.
Right?
Based on statistics, occasionally you're going to be the punchline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
If somebody telling that many jokes, they're going to hit you eventually.
Eventually it's gonna be you.
The universe is just a joker.
The universe is just a joker.
Well, to some extent, I joke about that with what's the meaning of life. I always go, you know what? It's a trick question. Question. That's the meaning of life. To look, to keep seeking, to never feel like you're there. There's
Yeah.
not an arrival. There's not a place to get to. There's here.
Mm-hmm.
There's here. And
There's
there's
here and there's
so
there.
much to see. And it's constant. And it's in how you see it.
Mm-hmm.
No, really, it was,
It was fun.
the basement was flooded.
It was fun.
And I've flooded this basement before, and you know what? That was a better reaction than I've had most times.
It was scary but
Shouts
fun.
out to Joe Herb. We have definitely gotten some water out of this basement before. It used to be an issue with the sump pump. That's why it doesn't flood anymore. That's why the only time it's flooded in the last decade plus.
Oh, okay.
But we've lived here for 20 years.
Right.
So I mean, we replaced the outside walls of the basement. Well, added steel I-beams. That's why there's I-beams all around the bottom, because the basement was falling in from water issues.
Mm.
Got the insurance company to pay for all of it.
Yup. Yup.
And a window. Or why we got a window out of it? We got a couple windows out of it too.
Josh said, "Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change." That's
Quantum
a
physics,
fact.
yo.
That's a
Quantum
fact.
physics. If anybody out there's never seen a movie called What the Bleep, you want your mind just totally blown. It's like Schrodinger's cat on steroids. Like, oh, the entire universe is a box, and is it dead or is it not, depending on whether or not you look at it. Perspective is everything.
No, seriously.
Humpty Dumpty wasn't an egg.
Mm.
He wasn't. Never
Mm.
was. In your head, all of your life, Humpty Dumpty's been an egg, but he's not an egg. He's not.
It's a cannon.
It's a cannon. Story about a cannon.
I didn't even know that.
Cannon falls off the wall, busts its back end, nobody can put it together again. But perspective. Simple as that, and simple as you just didn't know, but your perspective was set. You knew Humpty Dumpty was an egg.
The funniest part of that was that you like slipped into a Beatles thing.
I am the egg
No,
man.
he said you just didn't know, but your
You
perspective
just didn't
was set.
know. But then your perspective. Hey, Paul.
Doesn't that sound like a very Beatles thing to say though?
Hey, Paul, can you please not keep my... And you see, and then I lose it. Now, I will say this. When we were watching Get Back, that was a constant. I couldn't help but breaking into
Let's
a
get
Beatles.
back.
Thing
Oh
where,
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. And
documentary.
he had the Beatles in there.
Oh, my. Oh,
Yeah.
it was a constant. It was watching John and Paul and George and Ringo
Yeah,
talk, and it's like
yeah.
suddenly...
Suddenly
there I
you
am in
gotta do it.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so proud to be here. It's almost got a little bit of a Gaelic lilt to it. It's got a little bit of a,
Yeah.
you gotta get it, down here in Liverpool.
That's
Need to
funny.
D. I can't do Bowie right now either.
You can't do Bowie.
Oh. Yeah, no, I'm gonna bust into
We'll
Lou
say
Reed.
Bowie is a little bit more calm and a little bit more
Bowie's, he's
right.
got a little bit of a lilt to it.
A little
No,
bit of a
see, and then
little.
I'm Liverpool sticking
See,
in.
Liverpool is getting
Then
knocked.
Liverpool was getting me. I
I don't know. I don't know.
I love what we're doing.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
excited about what we're doing.
Me too.
We're getting ready to add even more stuff. We got lots of ideas in our head.
Yeah,
We
ideas
got things
galore.
we're working on. I know it's not. I know it is. I really am having a good time.
Me too.
That you
I
know what?
wanna I wanna like sit in the moment of having a good time and having fun and enjoying this before all of my anxieties and pressures and
Well,
will wind back to me as they eventually do. I just want to like sit in the moment and just be like,
well,
okay, I'm having fun right now. This is good,
the goal,
you know?
the goal between having a show that isn't about putting on a show
Mhm.
is that hopefully part of what we're feeling right now
Mhm.
is that we're building a place where we feel safe to communicate,
Right.
and hopefully where other people will feel safe to communicate. That's the
Right.
goal. That's
That's
the
the whole
real.
thing.
So that when you see me going, you go, man, I have been there. And when you see me going, hey, but today I was able to turn it this way, you go, maybe
Maybe.
the greatest thing we got out of, and I'm going to talk therapy up every day.
Mhm.
Not really. I'm not. But group therapy gave us the awareness that we were not alone in our struggles, that we could see in other people. And what I found was when people were honest, the people around them
Mm.
felt better.
Yeah.
That on top of, oh man, I want a place to exist, when you do,
Mhm.
other people feel comfortable like they can too.
That rhymed. When you do, comfortable too. No, feel like they can too.
Who's on first base? What or who?
Who?
Who? What?
Who's on first?
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Sometimes whose wife comes in and gets the check?
Who?
Whose wife? Okay, I'm gonna also explain to everybody that I am known for abusing people in Abbott Costello sort of fashion.
Oh yeah.
Some days
If
it rolls
if
smooth.
someone says who or what, he's all over it.
I can't not.
Yeah,
It's in
pretty
my
much.
eyes, it's the best illustration of perspective
Mhm.
available. It is a Buddhist meditation on seeing how looking at things differently affects one's opinion.
Yeah.
Who's on first question mark? Who's on first exclamation point? Abbott and Costello. I that's what I get. So I'm constantly finding Legos everywhere. My belief is that every living thing, even every not, that the universe is my teacher. I see stuff every day from, man, I'm talking to fish. I'm talking to cats.
Mhm.
um, Everybody thinks I'm crazy. Sometimes they do stuff though, don't they?
No, like I'm telling you guys, like okay, I can't like sometimes he like talks to the animals and they do stuff like they understand him. And I'm like di- I'm just so confused by the fact that they low key understand you.
Well, one of my favorite fun facts, and we'll wrap up how to deal with the world and floods on this note. One of my favorite fun facts is that cats and dogs are, in the opinion of the people that have tested them, have a heard vocabulary of a 2 to 3 year old.
Mhm.
They don't have the vocal capacity, but they understand words equal to a 2 or 3 year old. And I've known some 2 or 3 year
If you
olds.
talk to a baby from birth, they by 2 or 3, they'll be like understanding you. At
The
the very least, they
people
can understand you.
people understand things before they learn to speak. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
okay, just because this is fun. So I lived in Thailand. Yada yada, yay! But one of the things that blew my mind was I started dreaming in it before I could fully speak it. But I know that I know that the syntax made sense because my brain was
Hmm.
using the words and I understood what was going on. But I,
I've heard that about people that move to different countries
right.
and just immerse themselves in the language. I've heard that they dream the
So,
language before they can actually speak it.
so I took that realization and that's how I teach the pets and kids. I love all of you. It is so good to see everybody, including young Ross. Don't worry, the water is definitely
Gone.
moved back and gone. We are safe. We will be here tomorrow for Friday. Always a good time on Friday. Friday's like, oh, what we gonna do for the weekend? Which is weird because I just kind of work. We don't have. We're all over the place. We work on the weekend and we work whenever. And
Yeah.
if you need to get a hold of us and you want to talk, you want to come to the studio, we work. Especially, I mean, if you've got a, hey Matt, I want to come see your ass.
You tried to balance the social life in there,
We do. I'll just sit here and watch the wheels go round and round.
right?
I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and
You
round.
remember that movie where he
You
was
know I
like,
love to
you remember that movie where Ringo was like, I'm just I'm just sitting here while my guitar gently whimpers.
whimpers. My guitar gently whimpers.
I can't remember what movie that's from, but it's hilarious.
Flood pictures all over.
Yep.
I love that. Okay, where's number two? There it is. I can't grab my image. Ah, oh, we're gonna. That I don't need. Uh, we're still talking, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
still
yeah,
here. You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, why are they still here? Because Matt's having video issues. Ta-da! But I wanted to show you. I did find some really cool flood pictures.
It's
And I know that the biggest takeaway is it's perspective.
all
It's
about perspective.
and understanding that thinking you can extrapolate perspective from your perspective is not possible. How other person sees it is not the same. That's kind of cool. That's what makes it
Yeah,
awesome.
you can't fully get their perspective from your perspective. Definitely.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
God, I can't wait to be back here tomorrow.
Me neither.
I'm kind of excited. I'm like in a good place about it all. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
Do I did it dum did it do? See my pictures? I got pictures. It hasn't even come up yet though. I see it. About 42 minutes today.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Kind of want to watch some Beatles now. That's funny.
Josh.